Yo, stop scrolling. I got Shotty HD.
Yo, you got these motherfuckers to stop scrolling yet?
I mean, if they're still watching, I guess so.
Look like it to me. Let's get this shit cracking, man.
All right, first episode of the Stop Scrolling podcast with Shotty HD, JohnnyB theShooter.
You know
Check
it.
this out. Yeah. No shit. All right, welcome to the Stop Scrolling. Oh shit. All right, welcome to the Stop Scrolling podcast, where we get you guys to stop scrolling, give your thumb a rest, give your little finger a rest with your mouse, and just sit back and chill and watch this shit. All right, and today's guest, we have Shotty HD.
What up, dog? What's happening?
He is a rapper from Dallas, and so tell us a little bit about, like, your music, I guess. Like, first off, how'd you get your name, Shotty HD?
Quite honestly, man, that was just a stupid ass name that I just came up with. I don't know. Like I think I came up with it.
For those who don't know, HD stands for high definition.
Yeah, that was intentional. But Shotty, honestly, I just pulled that out of nowhere because I thought it sounded good. But
yeah,
over a
but
period.
like I heard like it was because that's how you rapped. It was like, bah, 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 you know?
Well, that's why I was, as years went on, I kind of developed kind of like a reason behind. One is like I spit in different directions as a shotgun or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Me being usually the first guy to hop out on some stupid shit back in the day or whatever like that. I was always the first rider or whatever with the OG and shit. Shout out to Eastwood. But yeah, over the periods of time, I just came up with different reasons on why I had the damn name. But yeah, just for short, HD works too.
Shotty HD. That's
yes,
what we
indeed.
say on the tracks. So you from Dallas, born and raised, or did you move here?
Born and raised, man.
Born and raised, where about?
I was born in the urban hospital. It was Urban Medical Center or something like that. Now it's Baylor. It's Baylor now.
Oh, I got you.
But after I was born, a month later, we moved to a neighborhood in Cedar Hill called High Point. So we was pretty much the first people on that block or whatever. So from there, I just took my years from there. I did spend a year in Mississippi, kind of like the state lines of
MISSISS.PPI.
Yeah, it's the state lines of Mississippi and Tennessee.
Yeah.
My bad. But yeah, I hung around in Olive Branch, Mississippi, but I was also hanging around in like all parts of Memphis and shit like that.
Is Mississippi like swamps? Like they got swamps and stuff?
I mean, if you go down far enough and look around and shit, you'll find some.
Because they're right on the coast, right? Mississippi?
Nah. Like
Louisiana?
Louisiana is like right below them. They're more closer to the water than Mississippi. But yeah, but where we were at, it's by the state line, so it's I tell everybody I went to Memphis for a little bit because that's who I hung out with. That's where I was at.
That's
I went
Tennessee,
to school.
though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're on the state line. So when you look,
that was like a tiny little thing on the coast.
Right.
Yeah, so it's not really like most of it's Louisiana.
Yeah, I was up like closer in the corner and all that good shit.
Oh, up north?
Yeah, well, shit, I don't really know how they demographics go
Man,
with
you
that
know
shit.
what? I think about it, Mississippi. No one really talks about Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
No one acknowledges Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
It's either like Louisiana, right? Because New Orleans and stuff.
Right.
And then Alabama, because like Alabama stereotype like the country cornbread people. But like you always forget about Mississippi.
Well, mostly because.
But it's the most fun name. Like MISSISSIPPI.
You gotta think about it though, bro. Like anywhere in the South, people have their reserves for like, the racist states, the red states, and all that other shit. So
is it super racist there?
I haven't lived out there long. Well, I'm bullshitting. Yeah, there is some. There was a lot where I was at.
You dealt with it?
Covertly, like covert. Like they did it in a ways that wasn't out there. You had to like really sit and actually pay attention to it. At that moment, I really wasn't paying attention to it shit because I was just doing what I was going to do just so I could get up out of there.
Too, not really
I was 16, 17, you know what I'm saying? So I really was just focusing on just getting my grades, getting the fuck up out of here after, learning who I'm hanging with and all these people that, that I came in contact with. I got relationships out there still.
What type of music do they wait, who came from Mississippi? David Banner?
Yeah, David Banner, Big Crit. There's a couple of cats out there.
I'm thinking like Memphis. Memphis is close to it, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of people from like Memphis and Mississippi, they kind of like cousins in a sense. I don't think he really too much. He don't claim it too much, but he got a lot of love out there. That's where he got a lot of his shit from. But J City, that's one of the guys that I happen to be privileged of meeting. When I went, he's a rapper that's like he's just not like getting like starting to get some traction and shit like that. But he been doing this shit for a long time or like that. And I happen to get acquainted with him. We got cool over the years. Even when I got there or whatever, we had like a little cipher and shit like that. And me and him were just going back and forth. We stood out and shit.
Yeah.
And my partner Star, shout out to Star Cannon and whatnot. He was doing the beats and shit like that, and that's how I really much got acquainted with a lot of them.
Is that when you started music?
Well, no, I started music 6-7 years prior to that meeting. I started rapping about 9-10 years. Yeah, when I was like 9-10 years old.
What were your raps about? Hot Wheels and stuff, Play-Doh.
I was rapping like Lil Wayne, bro. I was trying to be Bow Wow and shit.
Oh yeah.
Nah, dead ass like that. I don't care what anybody say. If anybody started around that time, Bow Wow was an inspiration because you seen like, oh shit, kid rapping, oh shit.
Bow Wow I think he's my age, maybe a couple years younger than I am.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So like,
when he came out, I was in 9th grade, I believe. He was like,
oh shit, you was probably older than him because I think he was like 13 when he started.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure like he was a little bit younger because I was like, I kind of like him, but I kind of don't because he's younger than me. He's a kid.
I saw that Bounce With Me video. I was like,
bounce.
I was like, so little dudes rapping. Okay, cool. I'm finished. Yeah. I was in the back seat of my dad's truck on my way back from Louisiana. I was heading to Louisiana for a homecoming game for Southern University and I think Gremlin and them was playing. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but
we was heading out there, and I was just riding in the back seat. I was just listening to the Lil Wayne and shit like that back then.
Lil Wayne. Side note, Lil Wayne is my first favorite rapper.
Me too.
I had a friend in 9th grade because like I didn't listen to music all the way up to like freshman in high school, and it's because like I lived in Washington State in like the canyon and shit, so there was no one, like the percentage of white people was like 90%.
Yeah.
The next highest was like 5% Mexican, and then like the rest were like black kids, Asian kids were adopted. Like no shit. Like there was 2 black kids adopted, 3 other Asian kids all adopted, and so I was automatically assumed to be adopted because my dad's half white. I'm half white because he's German. And so, like, they saw me with this white-ass family, and they thought I was adopted. So, like, the whole time, they were, like, thinking I was, and my name sounds white as shit. Thought you
were listening to classical music and shit, Beethoven's Third Symphony.
Right, and, like, up there, it's like, you don't get that type of music up there.
Right.
And when I came back down to Texas to live with my mom, and I went to, it was Plano, and, like, my best friend was this little black kid, and he showed me, like, he was from Kalamazoo, Michigan. And somehow he really liked the Hot Boys and stuff. So he started playing the Hot Boys. And the first song I heard from Lil Wayne was Clear the Set. When I heard him do that, right into the speaker about the swoop, the broom, that blew my mind. That ignited my love and appreciation for his music. And that's what kind of inspired me.
Yeah.
You know, that shit. Lil Wayne. Go.
But what's crazy is I didn't like rap until shit, until about 1999. 1998, 1999.
Yeah.
Because I joke about it, but like Puff was like Puff Daddy was like the reason why I didn't like it. Cause that song that nah.
I don't like his
that
music.
All About the Benjamins. That I hated that song for one reason. The reason was I didn't understand the lyrics in the hook. It was what is it? What you wanna do? Wanna be ballers, shot callers, brawlers. And I was hearing booty dipping in it. I was like, that was just so stupid. That was just so stupid. Like I thought about it. I was like, the lyric was so stupid, and I was like, no, I don't want to listen to that. So yeah. But Heavy D was the first rapper that I ever listened to, and I was like on it.
What like notable song of his that I might know as like a passive listener to? Old school.
You seen Hitch, right? With Will Smith?
No.
Yeah. You haven't? He did Now That We Found Love, What Are We Gonna Do? With it, that's that. But the songs that I was hooked on with was Got Me Thinking. That old joint.
Was he a rapper?
Yeah. He was a rapper. That's just the people that he was with.
Oh, you know what I've seen Heavy D from is I'm watching like I'm binging a show right now called A Different World, and Heavy D was on it, and like he was rapping and stuff, but he was dancing on stage for his performance, bruh. But he was also playing the piano too. I was like,
bruh, that boy got busy. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't privy to it until later on in my years, but earlier on, I was already vibing to his music. I was already jamming it. That was the only music I was listening to. Only rap I was listening to. I was listening to like Garth Brooks and like R&B. Like in Tony Braxton and shit like that.
What, Achy Breaky Heart?
Just that song, or the artist with more songs? That and what's the song? And I got friends in old places. Like I was vibing with that shit. I was young, but like. When I started growing up and shit, and I started listening to all of these pop songs and shit, because I was an NSYNC fan, Backstreet Boys fan, Limp Bizkit, and what's the fucking Linkin Park. Like I was a fan of these certain artists and shit because like I don't know, like they had certain emotions that I was feeling like. I tell everybody this.
Tearing up my heart when I'm with you.
Hey, when I was grounded and I couldn't watch TV and nothing,
grounded, you just fucking brought back
all I listened to was I was listening to that shit. All I could do was play basketball and listen to that fucking NSYNC album, bro. Oh shit. That's all I can fucking do. But
Backstreet's back. Oh my god. Even Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera, they had some. Yeah, I don't know if it was like a younger mind frame to be like accepting to those type of songs, but
I ain't had no choice. Because my sister, shout out to her. My sister, she was banging the hell out of that shit. Like every time I was going to sleep, Backstreet Boys was playing and shit like that. That's why I still got respect for them now, because like they still got music that's like. You know what I'm saying? That's still timeless or whatnot. Man, if we weren't so immature, like that's girl stuff, and we would appreciate that stuff. Now this shit, now we don't even hear that shit like that.
Like when NSYNC and stuff and them were really popular, I was in middle school. Yeah. And my stepbrother, he was in elementary school and he was like all about it. He had Backstreet Boy posters, NSYNC posters, Britney Spears posters, Christina Aguilera posters in his room. And me being in middle school, like appreciating the music, but not understanding how to, like, what it is to be like a fanboy like that, to the point where I'm kind of like iffy about you now. I'm just like, no shade or anything with that, but it's just like, you're kind of going extreme, and you're like not even in middle school yet. Like I'm not even a teenager, and you're younger than me, and you're acting all crazy. But I appreciated the music on my end. Yeah. Oh, back then, like I had to. So I had a CD player, and like it was hard to get CDs back for me at that time. So I had cassette tapes, and I had a alarm radio, and I would record a mixtape for myself on the radio based off of what was about to play. Like I'd have to listen to make sure I knew what song was coming up.
Oh shit,
Man,
that was back in the day. Motherfuckers used to be skillful at that shit.
I had some good mix. I don't know where they went, but like I had one tape that I did, and I was like, man, it's too much. In 7th grade, I was like, it's too much.
But I mean, even like with Limp Bizkit, like when I was, I think 5th or 6th grade, one of those. This shit got me through, bro. Like I was going through like a bad breakup, and then these certain bitches wasn't fucking with me. Yeah, bro. Like what's the fucking what's the album called? The Chocolate Starfish and Hot Dog Flavored Water album. Yeah. That joint went bananas, dude. That whole entire thing. I still listen to that shit now. Like I listen to music where you can ride on the highway and just vibe.
You know what's a good song that gets overlooked a lot because it's like a one-hit wonder? Is that Crazy Town song? Fly,
oh, I ain't heard that one.
Yeah. No, I ain't heard that one before. I don't know if I can play it and get like, you know, what a copyright, whatever. But Crazy Town, I forget what it's called.
That's from Limp Bizkit?
Nah, like the band is called Crazy Town.
Oh, okay.
Let me see. I'm gonna look it up real quick. This works better. Crazy Town. Yeah, Crazy Town right here. What is that?
Okay, yeah, I've never heard of those.
Butterfly. Man, that song. I'm just going to play it so you can hear it, but I might have to mute it, so. I don't know if the speakers are up. Watch me get this fucking ad.
Oh.
This song goes hard.
I remember that shit.
Man, like, this is something you can just, like... I wish I had a fucking convertible, like Continental, suicide doors, drop tops.
That's some Orange County shit.
Yeah, but that song is very underrated. Very so. But yeah, let's talk about
the fucking style back there. The fucking frosted.
I kind of want to like get into your music though.
Let's talk about it.
So you were talking about like your history in Memphis and stuff, and that's when I heard you start talking about like freestyle and stuff. But then you said you were doing music since you're like 9 or whatever.
Yeah.
So like. Back then, like being a kid and you're doing stuff and you kind of realize you've got like a little proficiency to it. You don't think about like, oh, I want to do this in the future. Knowing what the future is, like you can say it, but I don't really know if you understand like that's what your life becomes. But then again, like as a child, your mindset is so like innocent that you could understand it and not know any different because you haven't been exposed to anything different. So that's how you expect it to be.
Right.
So it's like, what was your approach to it, I guess?
I mean, shit. At 13, 14, that's when I was trying to do it. Like, that's when I was like, I had my mind set up like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna do this.
So that's like, say, like we could compare that to someone that's going to basketball start playing for the team. Because like if you start playing for the team for the school, it's like you're either in it for like that year or you're going to be in it so you can go to scholarships and shit for that.
Yeah, because I was playing AAU ball when at 9, and I was just using this as a metaphor. I was playing AAU ball at 9 when I decided, I'm gonna do this for fun because women like rappers and it's cool. I sound tough and woo. But when junior high hit, and then people start hearing what I was saying, and then I end up getting a deal. I think at 14 or whatever like that. That's when I was like, all right, yeah, we turning this shit all the way up. So
what you talking about a deal? You got a deal at 14?
Yeah, I say a deal, but it was really bullshit. The thing about it was that my brother, shout out to him, his mom and my dad, and our dad, they were dating or whatever like that, and I think this is like 3 or 4 years after they broke up or whatever, and his uncle was running a label called NASDAQ.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom and his mom, they got to chopping it up or whatever like that. Said it was cool for me to come by or whatever like that, link up with his people. So I was listening to BG because that's when I started latching on. BG was my guy. Like, that's who I was listening to.
Hot Boy?
Yeah. So I had already started writing this song off of his song called The Cleanup Man.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was, the Cleanup Man Part 2. And that's when I learned how to write it in bar form with one of
rhyme schemes and stuff.
Yeah, with one of his artists, Zeb. That's the guy that owns the label of like that. His artist, Earthchild.
Mm.
She showed me how to write it in bar form, like this and this and this. That's a bar. This and this and this. That's a bar, or whatever like that. So that's how I learned how to write it now. So I go there the next day because I spent the night over Earthchild's house or whatever. No, they brought us over to the compound, well, the house or whatever, and I ended up spending the night over there. The next day.
How old were you? Like 14?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 14.
Yeah.
So, I ended up going over there and spending the night. The next day, they handed me this CD with beats and shit, and I'm just listening to it. And I found a beat that matches along with the song that I already wrote.
Mm.
So the next day, he put me in with his other artist, and he recorded me, and it was my first song ever that I ever recorded called "It's True," because I was going by True Soldier at the time.
Yeah.
It is actually a fucking song my father and my family actually liked. What was funny about it, like
Did
my
you
sister,
cussing it or what?
Nah, I wouldn't. But my sister was. I was talking about, busting folks' head open and doing all this other extra shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but they liked it. My sister is still quoting this shit now because I said something about a Sprite remix. Back in the day, we had a Sprite remix.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, from that point on, I asked him like, "Yo, I'm trying to get down with the crew. So what's up?"
Right.
He's like, "Yeah, man, you a part of us. You with NASDAQ now." I was like, "I bet." And it was, it was kind of a handshake contract thing or whatever, right? So I'm writing songs after songs after songs after songs, so I'm just waiting, right?
Yeah.
And months go by. Then I go out of town. I call up Zed because I'm getting ready to come back. I'm like, "Yo, so what's up, man? Like, I'm trying to work now. Let's head in. Like, I got my stuff ready now. It's good."
Yeah.
And he's like, "All right, we can get down to it or whatever like that whenever we get off the tour." I'm like, "What? Y'all on tour?" He's like, "Yeah, we in South Carolina right now." What? Thing is, they had a rapper already there called Mandy Baby, a white chick rapper, right?
Uh-huh.
And they was marketing her for real. Like,
yeah.
So I mean, from that point on, I was like,
so
you know what?
That's where their focus was.
Yeah. So I was like, well, damn, like y'all going on tour and y'all taking off. Don't say nothing to me. So I left it alone.
Right.
And I just started.
Leaves a bad taste.
Hell yeah. But I mean, shit. After that, I just started doing my own shit and just. I don't know if you heard of Trey D. That's why I love it. That's my guy to be.
He's from Dallas, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I went to school with him. And we were working together.
TRAID, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We were working.
Clay were coming up and shit.
Me and him were like side by side like that. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, like me, I still got his lyrics in my room right now on paper.
Shit.
Yeah, me and him was in class. I think it was like English class or some shit like that. We used to write, pass notes and shit like that. Like, hey, how this shit sound? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, by this time, me and him was already cool or whatever, and I told him about what was going on. He had already put out like a CD or something like that, I think, by that time.
Yeah.
So, we coming up, and we got a whole little label called Trigger Play Productions and shit. And, we was trying to get some shit grooving, and then, make a long story short, we had got into some internal beefs and shit like that, and we stopped fucking with each other after a minute, and then he got signed, and this is around MySpace. I found out. And I was like, and I just sent him a message. I said, bro, congratulations or whatever like that. This is what we worked for, or whatever like that. Fuck the bullshit or whatever. And that was it. He responded back. And then, next day we seen each other at school. He smirked and I started laughing. We was like, we good now.
Yeah.
And pretty much after graduation, that was the last time I seen him.
What's he doing?
Dude, I don't know.
He's not doing music no more, right?
I have no idea. I don't want to speculate, but... Right. I think he's like writing for people and producing and shit. I think now. I don't know, but shout out to him.
But yeah, that's it's like being a ghostwriter. Like, do ghostwriters, in your opinion, do ghostwriters become ghostwriters because they're missing an aspect of being a performer, or do you think they're ghostwriters because they choose to be behind the scenes?
I mean, you can really throw out any reason that makes sense, and that's pretty much.
I heard they get paid pretty well.
Yeah, some of them, like some people might write songs. Some people might write songs and it might sound better for somebody else to say it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Did you ever take someone else's ghostwritten verse?
Verse, no. Hook probably.
Yeah.
But the verse,
I don't know if I could. Like,
the cadence, like if he tells me like, hey, maybe if your rhyme scheme sound like this or whatever like that, then maybe I work around it and try to flip it into my own. But I mean, as far as like, here's your notebook, this how you supposed to say it. The fuck?
So I just thought about it. Like, it's kind of like you listen to a song on the radio as if that is your reference track. Mm-hmm. And so like a lot of people memorize people's verses and whole songs and stuff, and it's like, that's your rendition of what you've heard, So that's how I feel like a ghostwriter taking the lyrics is. So it's not like it's not yours. It's not written for you. Mm. So I don't know. Like a verse, I could definitely not take it. A hook, I would only do a hook if like I had the feature from the hook artist be on the song. I don't know. That's just me. Like, I like to create, so like I have my whole shit, so I like to make like.
I mean, for
my own shit. So
for me, it's like I can write a song for you, right? Mm. And you might. For me personally, I would have to know you in a sense to actually make a song.
Yeah, that's another thing.
You know what I mean? Now if I make a song, like if I write a song and shit like that, and it kind of mirrors certain shit that you got going on or whatever like that, if your voice sounds better than that, I don't mind it. I don't mind handing it to you and let you do that. Yeah. Excuse me. There's a guy. You already know who I'm talking about, but the young guy, the one. Anywho, I've written a verse, only because that's how I kind of want the song to go. Yeah, like what you're thinking or how you're probably thinking it is not how I have the song visualized. Right. I want you to get on it because you're my man's, but I kind of want you to do it this way. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it's up to them whether or not they want to take it or not. Yeah. All right, y'all. So quick update. I can only film 30 minutes at a time, so we're going to do a quick cut right now since we're in this last minute. And when we come back, we'll just keep it rolling. In TV time, it's going to be like that, but in real time, it's going to be like... All right, then we're back. So, yeah, man, like, the whole thing about coming up in the environment that kind of helps you do what you want to do, I feel like allows us to be able to be creative, you know? Yeah, absolutely. Especially with social media, you know?
How do you feel about social media? Like, because there's so many different ways to look at it. Like, how it started with Facebook, just a way to connect with people that you lost contact with.
Right.
To monetizing streams like YouTube, then streaming services like Spotify, for independent artists and shit like that. And then you got the free, like, people to use platforms like Instagram, Twitter. I don't know what Facebook would be considered now, because Facebook is pretty much everything.
Social media.
You heard Facebook is trying to make their own money? They're trying to make electric money. That's actually going to be based off of real something of value. Like, probably like gold or something. I don't know.
It doesn't surprise me.
But think about it, like, everything is going to... Like, sometimes I'll be paying with my Apple Pay at a gas station or at a checkout. Just, like, I don't have to pull out two things. It's just, like, boom, boom. That's something I pull out all the time.
Right.
You know, I like the convenience of that. But then I was thinking about, like... Because when 2012 came, I was very into conspiracy theories. And I was so fucking sure that the world was going to change. Not necessarily end in 2012, but change life as we knew it. And so I remember it the day before, my best friend hit me up and he's like, hey man, we got to smoke this blunt. And so we go to this little grassy knoll to watch the sunset for the very last time, you know, before everything changes. We're like, man, so glad that I got to smoke this blunt with you, and whatever happens tomorrow, man, yada yada, and then wake up the next morning, like, everything's just normal. And I'm like, yeah. So, like, I was really into conspiracies and stuff, and I just lost track of what I was talking about. What was I talking about?
I mean, truth be told, dude, I don't really trip about how life comes. To be honest with you, like,
what do you mean?
I don't really. I wake up and I try to do the best I can as far as whatever opportunity or whatever I'm looking forward to trying and doing. That's what I'm gonna do. If I can't, you know, God willing, I get another opportunity to make that happen. But I don't really be paying attention to, you know, the conspiracy theories and you know, I kind of do because shit sound funny as hell. But I really be looking at YouTube like, y'all motherfuckers really that dumb.
What you think about aliens?
I know there's some aliens, bro.
Yeah, you believe in aliens?
Just based off of how half of these motherfuckers look here.
I didn't even think about that.
But nah, it's just, come on, man.
Yo, you really think there's aliens, like, within our space, like, every day?
Anything's possible, man. And then on top of that, I mean, I'm not, you know, I'm not too much of a religious guy, but at the same time, I ain't gonna sit here and limit God to just being just good enough to make just us. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's just crazy. And I remember around that 2012 time, like, I was watching YouTube videos of UFOs, and, like, every day there'd be these crazy instances of UFO sightings, and, like, UFOs going into mountains, coming out like a week later or some shit. And, like, I felt like I've seen a couple things. One, it's like two experiences. One was by myself. I was living in a house with some roommates, and in the backyard they had a trampoline. And I was out back in the trampoline one night, just chilling, laying down, looking up at the sky and the stars. It was a clear day, pretty much, like 95% clear.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, out the corner of my eye, I see this non-rigid structure or something kind of like squiggle through the air with a red tint. And I don't know what it was. It was like a line that was transparent that you can see through it. And, like, as immediately when I saw it, like, I flipped over and I stood up on the trampoline and I was, like, watching it.
Yeah.
And it was like 2 seconds, and then my mom was like, damn, I need to get my camera real quick. So I run inside, try to get my camera. I come back out, and it was like, it had kept going. Like, the rate of speed was pretty good, so it was gone. And I was like, what the hell? And then this another one was like more real because I was with my homeboy, the one like the 2012 one where we smoked the blunt and stuff. And we were at this gas station close to that house where I live, and we look up, and there's this thing. You ever seen that Pokemon Corsola?
Nah, brother. After 2005, I probably lost track of the new ones.
Okay,
after the movie came out, yeah.
So there's this Pokemon called Corsola. That looks like a coral reef thing. And that's literally what I saw up in the sky, but it was all white. And my homeboy was right there with me, so it looked like that.
Oh, hell no, I ain't never seen that before.
And it was like, but it was spinning. Like there was something in the middle that was spinning, and it was like stagnant in the air. So it was just sitting there in the air.
Yeah.
And the thing was spinning, and we were both looking at it, and like, I don't know, we didn't film it, or back then we didn't have smartphones yet, like how we have them now. And so that's why I was like, fuck, we got to go back and get the camera real fast and come back. But by then it had left.
Already gone.
It was like sitting there for a good 3 or 4 minutes, and I just did not understand what was going on. Or maybe it was like a weather balloon or something from the airport.
Yeah.
But it was in Carrollton, so it wasn't really like by the airport. So I don't know. That shit tripped me out, and that was my first-hand experience. So I don't know. I'm a believer. I will always be a believer because that shit is.
Oh yeah, I believe like I believe there's other life forms outside of Earth, but
yeah, the
I ain't looking for them. If they ain't looking for us, I ain't looking for them.
You know, I heard the concept that we are like an experiment or something that they might have, because I've watched a lot of documentaries about like human history and stuff, and like how all of a sudden there's this burst of technological revolution within the history of humankind. And it's like, what caused that sudden emergence of intelligence or knowledge or whatever?
I mean,
and some people speculate
the amount of time that they get information. Because think about it.
No, like I'm talking about like in history back in the day, like the Industrial Revolution and like all the ages, the Castle Age, the Imperial Age, the Bronze Age, shit like that. Like what catalyst in human history caused that to happen? And a lot of different civilizations in the past have references to these deities or mythological beings that are kind of like all similar, you know? So it's like, for me, I feel like we could be an experiment that's just like being watched over time by these quote unquote gods, like the Indian people, like they have a whole bunch of gods and stuff. And I don't know.
I mean, at the end of the day, it all boils down to the two components. Is either you're gonna build something or you're gonna destroy something. So I mean, it's a lot more builders because I mean it's at the end of the day it's more good people than bad people. There's still something out there, right?
Yeah.
So let's just say the destroyers are the bad and the builders are the good.
Right.
Now, it's so many people that are trying to build their way up in the good graces of their beliefs or their faiths or their deities. They're doing so much to try to build up to their expectations or their wants. While there's those anarchists, those destroyers, those non-believers, those other ones that's too busy trying to make it all about themselves.
Right.
So they're implanted somewhere in each one of those time frames that you're talking about. And like I said, it's more builders than destroyers. Now the destroyers, they can be used as pawns, or they can be, they could be ones that are on a, think of Genghis Khan, or Alexander the Great, or Cortez, and all those guys that were conquerors and all that other shit. Yeah. At the end of the day, they all was over and done with. But those civilizations, they still maintained. They still kept on building off of those destroyers that had come in. They still able to manage and maintain and do all of the other good shit. So I mean, at the end of the day, like, it's all about where you want to be in a position.
And you know what's crazy? I just realized a lot of people, you know, sometimes I get kind of apprehensive to tell people that I rap because the stereotype of a rapper.
Me too.
You too?
Yep.
And it's like, I was just listening to you. All right, we're back. Sorry, we had some technical difficulties. First podcast, I'm learning the ropes. So the battery pack died. So yeah, next time I switch out the battery after that 30-minute recording limit, I'm just gonna, or next time I have to cut it, I'm just gonna switch out the battery. But yeah, so back to like I get apprehensive telling people I'm a rapper because the stereotype of a rapper is what people are exposed to, and what people are exposed to is like the mainstream antics of social media and the low quality lyrical delivery of some rappers, some current rappers that are really big right now.
Right.
And so like I'm not that type of lyricist. I like to write, and I know you are too. We have a lot of songs together. Just keep that in mind. But like yeah, I'm apprehensive to say I'm a rapper, so I just tell people I'm an artist. I'm a creator. I do music. I do videos, stuff like that. But like back to what I was saying, like with what you were breaking down, people don't get to see that behind the scenes, that rappers are really intelligent. And even me, being a rapper myself, I've had that stereotype of other rappers based off of their music and their sound. But then you get behind the scenes, you get to talk to them. It's like, that's just their artistic delivery, you know? That doesn't necessarily reflect to who they are as an individual or their intellect, you know?
So rappers are sensitive, man. That's the problem.
Tech Nine, I'm sensitive about my shit.
And honestly, that's really boils down to, like, now. I mean, I do the same thing with you. Like, if, you know, I say I'm an artist or whatever like that, and I don't even really tell people too much that I rap. They'll find out. Or, I mean, if you got your own crowd, bro, like, you know, it really don't even really too much matter what people's opinions are about whether or not you do it or not. But I mean, for me, I felt like that for a little bit. I mean, I still kind of do. Like, I don't really. Oh, well, I'm a rapper. Nah, I mean, dog, I'm just out here trying to make sure I ain't in the unemployment line.
You're a musician. Like, we're musicians.
I do that, but I do other things too. Like, I'm just utility belt in a sense. You feel what I'm saying? Swiss Army knife or whatever the fuck. But yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, it don't really matter. Today I can just be feeling like, all right, whatever. Tomorrow somebody asks me, oh, so what do you do for a living? Well, shit, I rap, but I got a 9 to 5. You know what I'm saying?
I do everything I need to survive.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I do. That's the thing. That's where the stigma lies with a lot of you dumb motherfuckers. It's okay to rap, but if you are an up and coming rapper and you don't have any money saved up or anything going or any money coming in, something is wrong with you.
Your life? Something
is wrong with you, bro. Just your wordplay, just because you the coldest motherfucker in Nebraska doesn't mean that anybody's gonna give you anything, bro. You got to do for yourself before anybody's gonna do anything for you. You know, do anything for you. But I mean, that's a little message.
Because like everything, I feel like in that aspect in the industry, like everyone has to be looked at as an investment. If you can't be made money off of, then you can't put any reliance in that. So like if you're a dope lyricist but you're not putting in the work, people are gonna see that you're not putting in the work. You may have talent, but if you're not gonna do anything with the talent, then what are you good for? Right. So you have to show that you're willing to put in the time and do the sacrifices, the blood, sweat, and tears, and all that type of stuff, to on top of being good and having something to present and invest in yourself. Like, you're gonna have to have that day job for a while until you can support yourself without going away from your creative outlet, which might be music or videos or anything creative or whatever, until you can support yourself on your own business, whatnot.
Exactly. But you gotta be at the end of the day, you gotta be comfortable in your own fucking skin, dog. Like, you know
and realize you have one life to live, and you're not living your life for anyone. So you may hear people's opinions, but fuck people's opinions because everyone got one. But their life does not keep going about you when they turn around and they don't see you anymore.
Facts.
They may be saying shit, but once they're gone, they're gone. Then when you turn your back, you forget about what the fuck they say. You take what they said as a lesson, take that L as a lesson, never a loss, and you're always winning.
Word.
But like it's crazy that it took me so long to realize that myself. Until I hit 30, I was like, man, I don't care anymore what people say, so I'm just gonna do what I want. And I started doing what I wanted.
And you feel a lot better about yourself.
I feel a lot better. I feel more accomplished. I may not have the success, the classical success presentation that a lot of people have my age or whatnot, but like some people come to me that have a lot of money. They're like, man, I'm so envious that you're just like, you're happy every day because I get to do what I love. I'm not.
All right. You know, prisoner of the moment. I mean, that's all of living, bro. At the end of the day, like, as long as you got your own goals set in mind and you complete them, I mean, shit, that's success, bro. Regardless, success is all subjective.
Yeah.
You feel me?
But yeah, what you think? Good first podcast?
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, we had a couple technical difficulties, but you know it's to be expected.
The
first time around.
Shit on,
yeah, like, I work with Shotty HD. Go check his stuff out a lot. Like I work with him a lot, so go make sure you check out his stuff, because most likely I might be involved too. So I'm trying to grab fans from Shotty HD as well as. If I can get fans, if I do ever get fans, like they can go.
Y'all
to
been fucking with me
too.
and haven't been fucking with him already, then y'all slow as shit.
And the vice versa. So, yeah, this was the very first episode of the Stop Scrolling podcast, and we are about to go enjoy a sesh, and you can control your phone again and keep scrolling. Peace. Yeah. Waking up and I'm feeling like I'm just living out my dream.